What's your... I mean stuff like Seribot? Because Seribot is good. Seribot helps me block out.
Well, yeah, right guy. How can that possibly be wrong? Okay. All right, here we go, guys. So we were doing the pilot missions in Battlefield 1. Presumably this next mission won't be piloting, but it, same idea.
Before I got to Europe, I'd never seen an aeroplane in real life.
We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, so we didn't stream for a few days when this initially happened, Snacks, so you probably weren't part of this conversation. But remember the Trump-Musk conversation on X thing from last week?
Yes, I remember.
I know you said you didn't have the opportunity to listen to it, but one thing that a lot of people talked about was that Trump sounded like he was lisping very heavily. And a lot of people were like, "Oh man, you know, he's old. You can look at the lisp that he's developing." But you and I, from doing these Discord calls and streams, know
Yeah,
exactly why he was lisping, because that's a side effect of audio compression.
right. Exactly. Because I know that I don't have a lisp, and I've never been accused of having a lisp. And furthermore, it's not until the last couple of months that all of a sudden it sounds weird like that. And it's hard to explain that. But the really stupid thing about being like, oh, look, Trump has a lisp, and going on with that retarded shit is it's like, guys, he's probably the most televised man on the planet. If he sounds like he has a lisp in one phone call over the internet compared to all of the different fucking television productions that he's a part of, day in and day out, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, don't you think if he had a lisp, we'd know about it by now? And there'd be more occasions of it than just one singular fucking Twitter Spaces conversation?
Yeah. Well, these people aren't that bright, but
I know.
they exist and they vote the same as we do, unfortunately.
Exactly. I was looking at a graphic that showed the 2012 presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
If only tax-paying citizens voted, only citizens that paid taxes, not being a net gain in taxes paid, just purely people that paid taxes at all. If only tax-paying U.S. citizens voted in the 2012 election, Romney would have won 38 states
I've seen
and would
this.
have had over 400 electoral votes.
Yeah, it would have been a historic blowout.
Exactly. So you can only imagine that in the years since, it's only gotten
Anyway,
more substantial.
Once those Germans were gone, I put my skills to work, heading
And
west
again,
toward
that's
the British
not
front.
that's
Why
not
wasn't out
only net positives
Between
on
me
the
and the
system,
British front were
taxpayers.
German
It's
trenches
just
and
anybody
German
who pays taxes at all.
guns.
It's like, Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
maybe
how
half
many
the
people vote who
population
don't
were
even have a fucking job
all
then?
spoiling
You
for a
know?
fight.
Jesus Christ. Let alone any number of the other fucking taxes. Like, you being unemployed, even though when you get unemployment from the government, that's supposed to be taxable income. Aside from all of that, you've also got property taxes because you own your house.
Yeah. And I pay taxes on what I make on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and that's also income. And I don't know what you got in terms of investments or anything, but if it's not zero, then you pay taxes on that,
Right.
you know? But even just a simple W-2 style job, these people don't even have that to pay taxes on.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, holy crap. You
I
know?
mean, Rye Guy, that's not really the point that Snacks is trying to make. The point that he's trying to make is look at how much the country changes with this simple adjustment.
Right. Which is that, simply put, the concept of democracy as we know it right now
My lucky day.
cannot
The Brits
continue
must
to
have been sitting
exist
down for tea with
indefinitely
crumpets instead of
if you
shelling
give the
Germans.
franchise
Still,
to
I had to
everyone.
get through to our side of the line before those guns
Universal
started up
suffrage
again.
is devastating to a nation. And
Well-
we only need to look at the way the country has changed to see the evidence of that. Because if a requirement to vote was that you pay taxes, the country would be radically different compared to the way that it is right now. Let alone over the last 20.
I mean, J.D. Vance had the idea that people with children should have their votes count more per children that they have. Because they obviously have a bigger stake in the future of the country if they have kids, and they have a bigger stake even if they have more than one.
I think that's a good idea too. I also think that a woman should not have the right to vote unless she was married and had children, in which case her right to vote only just meant that that is a point that gets added to her husband for his vote. Because single women, not only do they not care about things that actually matter in terms of governance, but they're literally overwhelmingly voting Democrat as a single issue voter, where they only vote Democrat because of abortion. And it's not like, and yet in spite of that fact, you are the one who also complains endlessly about the fact that everything's too fucking expensive. You know? You'll lament the fact that you ended up being a childless cat lady wine aunt, but that's because I don't date broke dudes, and yet every dude within your fucking social circle is broke because you voted for Democrat. And he lost his job. Good work. It's real fucking hard to survive right now, so we gotta hope and pray that Trump wins. And if he doesn't, we gotta hope that we just rip the band-aid off this time, you know? And we just very quickly move to the next stage of society. Because this ain't working.
Remember
Those trenches
when,
were packed full of the Kaiser's
right after
forces.
this Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade,
Most of them would be looking
um,
coming the other way.
Elizabeth Warren
Hopefully.
was getting interviewed out in the street, like right after it, and she was so mad it looked like she was going to shit her pants.
Yes.
That was great.
A great day in American history, I agree. God, I haven't had fish and chips in forever. Price of fish just went up so fucking much over the last few years.
Fish and chips is great. Or it can be great if they make it right. I could, but... This is democracy in action.
What am I even being charged with for eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Hey, how about that? You know, I'm not at all surprised. Place I used to work at, the first electrician job that I ever had, working in solar. I'm looking on Google Maps because it's it was a restaurant that sells fish and chips and it's famous in my town. So I was looking to remind myself where they're located. I'm looking at the map. I'm like, hey, this is actually pretty close. Let me go see. I go click on the map and zoom in and to where they're supposed to be located, and they're not there anymore. So I Google it, and wouldn't you know it, they went under. And I'm like, yeah, you would, you piece of shit. You guys are running that company scummy as fuck.
Yeah, many such cases.
Wilson, we're in no man's land. We need to go now.
'Cause let me tell you, man, like, I got that job because they'd hired a number of people who went to the same school as I did to learn to be electricians already. So it was almost like a pipeline kind of deal.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. They hired everybody that they hired with the promise of them being electricians, but they were just solar panel installers. You never, like, the electrical work itself, bro, I could have done that shit in my sleep. I'm like, you hand me a fucking manual, I can easily do this. And they were paying those guys 38 bucks an hour, and this was in 2019. And I was making minimum wage because I was an installer. And what my job was to climb up on the roof and install the railings so that you could put the panels on. That was my job. And then also help lift the panels up onto the roof, which is 75 pounds of this fucking thing that's made out of glass and quartz, so if you drop it, you owe your boss $2,000. And carry it up the roof, 75 pounds, and you're carrying it up onto the roof on a ladder by yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna last long at this job doing that shit. But here's the problem is that they hired everybody with the promise of being an electrician, and the electrical work wasn't hard in the first place. But they fucking lied. You know, they're like, oh, yeah, what you're actually going to do is be an installer. And then after a couple of years, you get to be an electrician. The problem is a lady let it slip, and this is what made me quit that job. Because the lady that worked, it was essentially their hiring department. She let it slip to me. She's like, oh, yeah, you know, continue your electrical training, because, you know, we're hiring those guys. You know, I'm looking for somebody right now. Let me tell you, we're paying those guys a lot of money. So, you know, when we find a guy that we're looking for, you know, he's going to get a lot of money. And I didn't say it because, of course, if I said it, I would have just been outright fired. But in my head, I'm like, what do you mean you're hiring and you're looking for candidates? You hired every single one of the guys. Like, there's 20 guys who work in this business. All of them want to be electricians. All of them are trained to be electricians. And all of them have been told by you that they were going to be those. And you're going to hire some other fucking guy. I'm like, oh, some of these dudes have been here for 7 years waiting. I'm not going to be. Absolute fucking scum people. So, I see they're gone, and businesses lay over. So,
Man, I fucking... Oh my god. Why are both characters in this scenario so fucking unlikable? Like, okay, there's this character in this subplot of this game who is basically like your wingman. You're a fighter pilot and he's your wingman, but he's kind of a pussy. So, like, before you guys went off and fight, he was like, promise me that you'll get me home alive. No matter what, you have to promise you'll get me home alive, which I think is fucking stupid if you're going to go to war. You shouldn't be asking anybody to make that promise. And so I just found him. Basically, we crash landed and we got separated. And I found him injured in No Man's Land. And you know what No Man's Land is, right?
Yeah.
So I found him there and his leg's all fucked up. And I'm trying to decide what to do. And he's freaking out. He's like, you promised you would keep me alive. You promised you would get me home. It's like, dude, it's fucking war. What the fuck? I don't know. I just find this guy really annoying. Anyway, right guy. Snacks' job at that place was before DEI was even a thing, I think, or at least by that term. Obviously, affirmative action has always existed, but
yeah, I had this job in 2019, bro. Trump was president.
I think DEI is like the last 2 years it's become a thing. Before it was called something else.
Yeah.
Wilson said I was a no-good, lying son of a bitch. I brought him home because I think he's probably right.
But actually,
I hate that fact more than
at
I
every
do.
job I've ever had working in construction, that job had the largest percentage of the workforce being white guys out of any company I'd worked for.
A thief and a liar, and he'll answer for his crimes. That's right, Blackburn.
Off to the farm, are you?
I'm going to speak up for you, you know, at the court-martial. It might do you some
I doubt
good.
it, but Thanks.
Wilson, with me. I need a gunner.
Over here. I'll do it. Rackham, let me help.
You don't deserve to fly.
Wilson, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die up there.
Come on, let's do this.
You sure you don't want to sit this one out?
Not a chance. You owe me a bloody medal.
All right, I got this. Are you with me?
Of course I'm bloody with you. Fighters on their way. I'll cover our tail. Bandit on our six. Turn hard. Turn hard. One down. Right behind us! He's right behind us! Taking hits! Bloody hell! That's just great! That was some bloody good flying!
Well, it'll make for one hell of a story. Ah, shit. Bombers incoming.
The bombers are the threat! We have to take them down!
I'm gonna max the throttle and dive so the gunners can't hit us. Hold on!
He's got position on us! Come on, girl, hold together! No, no, no! We're hit!
Give me a break! Incoming fire!
Dude, check the news. Doesn't matter what channel.
Keep your speed up and hit the bombers on the pass! Soon we'll have a hard time tracking us!
No. I never got to read it. Just wanted to say I loved what you did today.
Taking fire! Sweeping say get on that stern. Come in fast or sweep in from below to avoid those guns.
Let me tell you something, man. Out of curiosity, I looked at
Oh no!
Work Online.
Any ideas?
To do,
You looked at what?
Said you wanted a medal, didn't you?
I looked at Work Online to be a freelance coder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people writing code for,
One of many more targets.
you know, just any open source thing out there. Like, hey, I need somebody to do this. Can you do it?
Mm-hmm.
So some like Upwork, where you bid on the job and all this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the fucking thing and I'm all like, this would actually be easy as hell to do if you had a decent resume.
Yeah.
And you were actually American, because the vast majority of people bidding on this are fucking Indian. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, you win by default by not being, please do not redeem.
Coming!
So you're saying you think that's something that I should look into?
I think, yeah, at the very least, you know, when you don't have anything else going on,
Mm-hmm.
just take a look at the website and just browse through it.
What's the
'Cause
website
if
called?
you see something you think, I'm just trying to see what the domain name is for it. It's called Upwork. It's upwork.com.
Oh, okay. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, because like I'm looking at this and I'm like, now this is something that I thought that I could do. Like if I could do it, certainly you could. I just obviously have no idea about what kind of returns you'd be able to see. But I'm seeing various Reddit threads. Not like for the site specifically, but people talking about, yeah, I do it on Upwork. Got a lot of traffic during COVID.
mm-hmm.
Okay back there, please tell me yes.
See, as I was looking through the site earlier, man, there's just so many damn Indians, and I'm sitting here like, if it was me, I'd want to hire somebody who's not an Indian.
Bring on the medal.
That's a short list of folks.
I wonder if they're willing to work for a lot less, though, you know?
Well, generally, yeah, but it's not like you automatically get the bid just because you bid the lowest amount of money to get the project.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they take a look at your profile and they see that your name is something like Raj Singh, and they look at your work history and see that there isn't any, and they're like, oh fuck.
Right.
Well, yeah, but the guy bid only $1 for this contract. Yeah.
Position on us!
I mean, at a certain point, you get what you pay for. Do you remember that scene from Bioshock Infinite where the two manual laborers are bidding over a particular job?
Yeah.
And they keep having to undercut the other because they're desperate and everybody knows it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like that. I don't know.
Taking fire! Right, bugger off, Fritz!
Boy.
Bloody hell!
Dummy.
I'm gonna die up there. You and your big mouth.
You okay?
I'm okay. We need to take out that flak gun.
Okay. I've got your back.
It's like trying to draw a square circle. It just doesn't work.
All right, we gotta get up there.
Don't look down, all right?
All right.
Just don't bloody look down.
And realistically, a lot of these people complain about the politician that they're going to vote for, and then they vote for them anyway when it rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kyle Rittenhouse is a great example. You complain a little bit,
Seven shades out
you
of
tell
my
yourself
mouth.
you're not going to do it, but you're going to do it.
I can't really see it. Just straight ahead. Whoa!
Careful.
Yeah.
They're firing at us from everywhere.
Don't stay out here. Keep moving. I see him. He's over there.
That's the guy.
Hey, you okay?
I'm good. I'm okay.
Find a way back up top. I'll head around to the flak gun.
Okay, I've got this. Man. What? Keep it down. Every German on this damn balloon's gonna hear you.
There we go. Hey, I killed him with my machine gun, not whatever that was. The revolver.
Come and get it! My name's Clyde Blackburn. I'm a pilot. I'm a gambler. And I'm a stand-up kind of guy. I am a stand-up kind of guy. I'm a
Why can't I kill the guy that you're having a fist fight with? That's what I would do.
Keep shooting!
Wow. What the hell? Wilson, we gotta go.
Where are we jumping? Like, we're just jumping to our death. Aren't we? Like, literally, we're just gonna go splat. Oh, okay. It wasn't that high up.
Story. A selfish man who risked his own life to save another, and in doing so, found he was saved himself. Things get mixed up in wartime, though, and you'll probably hear other versions. A rogue pilot who stole a plane, who killed his buddy, then lied, cheated, and murdered his way across half the Western Front, only to escape court-martial in the chaos of an air raid. But don't listen to any of that. What you heard from me is the truth. I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. Would I?
Alright, we did it. No problemo.
Everyone was affected by the war. Every corner of the world was touched.
Lead the Italian assault. Okay, so now we're playing as an Italian.
To go before. Whether it was the mountains of the Alps or the skies above, we found a way.
Hopefully I'm not playing as the Vito.
They said,
You never know. Especially these days. Good heavens.
First part of the mission is a gay sex minigame.
Uh-oh.
You up there? Are you all right? We're ready for you to cut the cake. Wow, these are incredible.
Yes, it was an incredible time.
You looked very handsome in that uniform.
That's not me, that's Matteo.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, Dad. Take as long as you need.
No, it's okay, Tesoro. It's time I told you what happened to him. It was during our last battle together, just a few days after our 21st birthday. My brother's battalion had been ordered to capture a fort deep into enemy territory.
Did you see the news about the DNC?
I wasn't going with him.
by the way.
Part of his
They're
Probably-
gonna offer
Probably not.
they're gonna offer free abortions and vasectomies to attendees.
Our task was to
Oh.
support Mateo's battalion.
And apparently
First
there's
of all,
a
that's
waiting list for the vasectomies.
We changed
well,
war for
okay.
Italy.
First of all, that's disgusting. But secondly, that's also hilarious that they're literally like, "Hey guys, come on down and sterilize yourselves."
Mm-hmm. Very on brand.
Just baffling. Man.
Oh shit! I'm Iron Man. I'm World War I Iron Man. I'm in a gigantic suit of armor with a machine gun. Look at me, man. I'm literally Iron Man.
While Mateo was pushing forward, I had to fight up the mountain and take out anything targeting his unit.
That's what we want to see.
Makes me worried for you.
Don't worry, I was in a full suit of armor. Besides, the Aditi were proud volunteers. We would have done anything for Italy. A church was sitting at the base of the path. Enemy troops had fortified it. I had to fight them first. Soldiers. After that, the church would be ours.
Did this kind of stuff actually exist in World War I? Or is this made up for the video game? A dude wearing this gigantic suit of armor, carrying a Gatling gun into battle. Like this. Like, I'm literally like a very, very esoteric version of Iron Man. In the opening scene of the first Iron Man movie.
Let me check out what your actual stream and see what's happening. You think the state of Washington would be better off if Seattle wasn't in the state? Yes, that's correct. Pretty much every single state in the union would be better off if the megacities didn't have such a stranglehold on their politics.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a statewide electoral college would actually represent the interest of people who fucking live there.
Mm-hmm.
Abbiamo l'ordine di avanzare!
There was an artillery gun that was shelling us and Mateo's unit. I had to destroy it.
And he was still heading to the fort?
Right. I had to make sure he got there.
Answer to your question is no. That's not real.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally like what Tony Stark built in a cave with a box of scraps. Hey, Carson, how you doing?
Matteo and the entire Italian offensive was in danger as long as that artillery gun remained. So I had to take it down.
Oh. How did I die there? Did the explosion?
There was an artillery gun that was shelling us and Matteo's unit. I had to destroy it.
God dang
He
it.
was still heading to the fort?
Right. I had to make sure he got there.
This helicopter ain't stopping till I'm in Tijuana, man. I don't hate the idea of going for two a lot, Ryguy, but I don't think we're there yet.
Matteo and the entire Italian offensive was in danger as long as that artillery gun remained.
Speaking of Tua, he looked terrible today.
Did he really, or are you just meaning?
No, he looked pretty good. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Tua's playing up to his contract. I'm all like, Tom Brady in his prime wasn't playing up to his contract. Are you kidding me? Like, holy fuck, it's too much money. It's too much money.
I mean, it's not like there's a good answer he can give, Big Country. In his defense, there's nothing to say except I should not be employed by the Mariners right now, but I am, so... yeah. There are no good answers right now.
Yeah, I gotta say I agree with you. If he had even a scrap of honor, he would probably resign in disgrace and then hang himself.
This is Tua's fault, Jerry. A Balrog, a demon of the ancient world.
That's good stuff.
Italienische Todesverdrohung! Wir können nichts tun! Bene, ce l'abbiamo fatta!
The only way to ensure that my men were safe was to blow up the gun itself.
Ziemlich üble Wunde!
That explosion was one of the sweetest sights of the war for me.
I don't think so, Austin. Not with load
I could
management.
see an anti-aircraft gun over the next ridge that was taking out our planes. And that was my next target.
Why didn't they give MM all the defensive play calling today? They just want to experiment with stuff a little bit. It's the preseason. It's the time to do that kind of thing.
Avanti, avanti! Rompere le file, maledizione!
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see an NBA team win 70 games in a season again because of load management and the new salary cap rules. Yeah, that's another good point, too. I just don't think 70 wins is happening ever again.
Yeah. Not only that, but the biggest reason that it wouldn't happen is because of what actually happened to the 2016 Warriors, which was that they won all those fucking games and then they choked in the finals. Because they tried as hard as they could in the regular season, which just doesn't matter.
I had to remove them before I could use the gun myself.
There were a lot of reasons why they choked, but, you know. Look at what happened there, and they say, yeah, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah. Like, the Warriors the following two seasons were very measured. They didn't care about the wins record anymore. They just wanted to get to the playoffs with a healthy team. Like, they didn't even have the 1 seed that one year that Houston had it, right?
Yeah.
I take down the last man, but then I hear a noise that I will never forget. They were targeting Mateo's unit below me, so I do the only thing I can. It was me against an entire enemy bomber squadron. We had no reinforcements. If those men were killed, our advance would be completely halted, and I would have lost Mateo.
Okay, I'm starting to think the guy I'm playing is gay. The way he's talking about this Mateo guy. Like, dang.
After the first few went down, they started targeting me. I had to stand my ground.
Get. Phoenix plus 16, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Be right back. Okay, we are back.
We had no reinforcements. If those men were killed, our advance would be completely halted, and I would have lost Mateo.
Can't see the game. What? How'd that happen? So last night I was reading about the voice actress who voiced Snow White in the original, animated Disney movie from the 1930s. Her name was Adriana Caselotti or something like that. Right?
Okay.
And I was reading her wiki page, and her dad's name was Guido, which I thought was like an anti-Italian slur. Not an actual
The funny
name.
thing is, it is a slur. But the thing is that a large amount of slurs actually have an origin in being the name. For instance, there's a slur again, specifically Irish Catholics, because Irish Protestants are generally in the northern part of Ireland that the UK still controls. But the rest of Ireland, the country, are largely Catholic. So there's a slur for Irish Catholics that was used a lot during the Troubles called Taig, or Taig, depending on your pronunciation. Taigh. But the thing is that became a slur. That's the name. In fact, it's such a common name that for the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, it was the most common male name for an Irishman. So that's where the slur comes from, the name. And Guido is an Italian name, and that's where the slur comes from. Is because that's an Italian name.
Okay.
After the first few went down,
That kind of thing happens a lot more than you think.
So it'd be kind of like Tyrone, how some people refer to a black person as Tyrone, like, derisively. I guess.
Yeah. Centuries-old stereotype. Oh, you filthy Taig, I bet you worship Mother Mary and drink whiskey on Sundays too, don't you?
All right, we did it.
Were you still safe behind your armor?
Of course. Nothing could dent it.
Well,
But then the planes veered away.
Oh my god, I just got a comment on YouTube. Can you stop putting the score of the game in the damn title of your videos? I am sick and tired of your videos popping up with the score as soon as I turn on YouTube before I have even had a chance to watch any highlights or anything. Think about people beside yourself. What is wrong with you that you need to be told this? Just put game recap in or something, so it isn't unavoidable to see. For those of us that don't want you ruining it, think. Jesus, man.
Yeah, he's not gonna make it. Let me yell at that guy right now.
Sports are not meant to be digested on VOD. Watch the sport live or deal with the spoilers.
They blew up the mountain. They
Okay, number one that. Number two, who the fuck is binge watching the whole season? Like, can you imagine?
I had to find him. So I went down into that hill. It was my own.
Secondly, what the hell is this dumbass expecting? Like, oh no, it's been spoiled for me because of this YouTube channel that I follow. Wait a minute. Don't you watch ESPN? You don't think they're gonna spoil it?
You could have been anywhere.
Oh. That's just too much, man.
I started with the first thing that came through the fog. There were allies pinned inside lodges.
But,
I
like,
needed to save them.
really?
Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? The game is over.
If you... number one that. Like, if you care that much about the game not being spoiled for you, why weren't you watching it?
Yeah.
It's Saturday. If you work on Saturday and you care that much, you know, you could do what I do. Which is, clicking the fucking, going on the ESPN on your phone when you got time at work and just typing in NFL scores. God, what a complete wuss.
Mm-hmm.
That he drinks his own urine.
If it means that much to you, then block my channel and just go find the videos when you want to find them.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell, guys.
Armored vehicles coming from the enemy fort.
Yeah, like, without unsubscribing from your channel, you can just go into your settings and actually prevent videos from a certain account from popping up in your feed.
Yeah.
Like, again, who the fuck cares? Like, I just...
Like, I have thousands of people who watch my videos every week, right? That's a fair assessment. Obviously, some of my subscribers are dead accounts, but a lot of them aren't. And you are, like, the only person I've ever seen complain about this. Why should I have to cater to you one person out of thousands of people. That doesn't make any sense.
And then he's all like, you gotta think. He's all like, you're the only person that's ever complained about that. Like,
I just saw your comment.
I mean, how fucking stupid, man, really?
Yeah. Like, I am not the one who should be doing something special to accommodate you. You should be the one doing something special to accommodate me, motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell that guy it's all like, hey man, you are free to yap as much as you want. Just be sure to do it with ad block off.
Mm-hmm. Really? Oh. I can't believe Brawny has almost the same 2K rating as the Dalton Connect, the actual good rookie the Lakers drafted. Like, I think the average person doesn't understand the massive discrepancy between a bad NBA player and Brawny. Like, they're not even in the same stratosphere.
Not even close. They're going to, because like the thing is that in 2K 26, Brawny won't be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is probably LeBron's last season because he has nothing to play for, so he just wants to play with his kid. And then once the novelty of that is worn off, he'll just leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, even if he wanted to ring chase to win one more, like, he can't bring his kid with him, so why? And he literally has nothing to play for, so he's the only player left from the 2003 draft class that's still playing. So, like, what could he possibly be playing for? Just to have the longest career ever? Because If he came back, it'd be 22 seasons because this is going to be the
The man
21st.
said his unit had made it further up.
Like it's pointless. And his kid sucks, so no one's going to sign him anywhere. So he's not even going to be in 2K26. He's going to be the only 2K he shows up in. So Ronnie 2K is terrified of pissing off LeBron by giving his kid a bad rating. But like he has to have it be at least close to the other rookie, so that people can be like, oh, okay. But like, you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna find out real quick how fucking bad this kid is. Cause like I brought up to you, but now I'm saying it to the stream. Andrew Goudlock is a player I'll never be able to forget because when we were on the NBAP, Lakers fans made such a big deal out of him, which was hilarious. But even watching him, he had a really pretty floater. So, you know, if that's something that you keep track of, you know, it's someone who sticks out to you and you remember them. The only 2K he was ever in was 2K13. Because other than that, he spent his entire rest of his career in the G League. It was the highest that he ever got. But he was the MVP of the G League. He won the MVP in the G League playing on 2 different G League teams during that season.
Part of me wanted to get out of the trench.
And he still wins
I
MVP.
could hear Italian.
He wins MVP playing on 2 different teams.
Everywhere I looked,
Try to imagine that in the NBA. Somebody gets traded halfway through the season, they still win MVP.
ghosts. After a while, I couldn't even look at the bodies.
That's wild.
You had to have made it to the
And he was only in 1 2K because that was the only time he was ever in the league. He scored 20 points against the Spurs in the playoffs. In the series where they got swept, because that was the Dwight Howard Lakers year for those who
Right,
were
I
too
remember
young to
that.
remember. Bronny will never score 20 points in a playoff game.
Some of
Ever.
the things I saw to
Period.
I doubt he
And
ever
Andrew
plays in a
Goudlock was a-
playoff game.
myself, I wasn't dead.
Well, yeah, more than likely. And Andrew Goudlock was a 62 in 2K13. Bronny is a 68. Bronny is a 68, a kid who's not athletic because he has a heart condition. A kid who can't shoot, as he proved in the Summer League. A kid who can't defend, because also in the Summer League he proved that he was the first person in the history of the Summer League to be dropped on the floor by someone crossing him over. His defense is bad, he can't shoot, he's 6'3", he can barely finish, he doesn't have handles. He's the only person I've ever watched on a televised basketball game have to look at the ball as he dribbles. What could possibly be the rating that gives him a 68 overall? And he's 6 points higher than Andrew Goudlock, who scored 20 points in a playoff game against the Spurs, who were 20 seconds away from being NBA champions.
After a while, I couldn't even look at the bodies. You had to have made it to the fort.
That's insane.
Like, honestly, it's an opportunity for 2K to do something really interesting, like be able to play as a basketball character who cannot play basketball. Like, what that would be like. Like, that would be interesting, but of course they don't have the balls to do it.
Some of the things I saw, Tesoro. I had to convince myself I wasn't dead.
Like what?
Fire. Fire everywhere. There were 2 ways into the fort. I could either go through the underground tunnels or above ground by circling around the back.
Not through the front?
I no longer had my armor. It was impossible.
Damn it. Means Luca Brazzi sleeps with the fishes. Good, that does it. What? Oh, I got shot in the back.
You know what? That's a great take on it. What you were talking about, free abortions available to DNC attendees in Chicago?
Yeah.
The DNC is literally having child sacrifice at their event.
The DNC is openly sacrificing children at their convention, and you're blackpilling.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're blackpilling.
So, Tim Walz posts the picture of him at Subway, and he says, "Do you think J.D. Vance knows what a Runza is? He probably thinks it's a Hot Pocket." Top comment is, "Didn't you runs away from your responsibility when you started your unit when they deployed?"
Whatever it's worth, I don't know what a Runza is.
Neither do I.
But
Since
Subway
it's at
sucks.
Subway, I'm assuming it's something to do. A Runza is a yeast dough bread pocket with a filling consisting of beef, cabbage, or sauerkraut, onions, and seasoning. Runzas can be baked in various shapes such as a half moon, a rectangle, a round, a square, or a triangle. Think of like, you know the kind of donut that's just like a bar. It's just like a elongated oval.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that in your head, and now instead of being a pastry, that's just a thing of bread, and then on the inside is meat and cheese and vegetables.
I don't know how.
So yeah, it's basically a Hot Pocket, which is exactly what he probably thinks it's a Hot Pocket. I'm like, other than the fact that you microwave a Hot Pocket and this isn't microwaved, like what's the difference?
I still think about that field.
I guess they do Runzas at Subway.
Okay. There was this tweet last week about how I guess Subway, their business is so bad right now, they're calling emergency meetings trying to save the company. Like things are going really bad.
It makes sense. A lot of deli sandwich chains have been going under in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Famously Quiznos, which has like been devastated. there's a reason for that, is because of the same reason that, like, everything is failing. The shit's too damn expensive. People don't have the money to spend on it that they used to, and you're charging more. So, like, they're gonna cut out stuff that they don't need, which generally ends up being all this various forms of slop. Quiznos failed because they got a new CEO that came in who decided to cut costs by using a different supplier for their ingredients, and they used a bunch of substandard ingredients. So if you're a long-time Quiznos customer, you walk in one day and suddenly the sandwich tastes like shit. If Subway's cheaper in the first place and it now tastes better, then why wouldn't you go there? So your Subway now, and because it was less than 20 years ago, it's very, very easily within living memory for a large amount of people that they remember the $5 footlongs. And now, that same sandwich, except slightly smaller and with less inside of it, is costing you upwards of $13.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get, when I went to college the first time, this was in 2011, they had a Subway in the food court.
Yeah.
And the food court was like a mall's food court. It was just like actual restaurants and stuff. So I'd go to the Subway every day, and I would get myself a footlong meatball sub. I liked it. $5.95. So much it cost me 13 years ago. If I go to Subway now, almost $10 more. If you go to Subway now, it's going to be 14 some dollars.
Yeah, it is. I went to Subway not that long ago to see what was up, and yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, same exact sandwich, except it's $9 more. You know, if I'm going to sit there and I'm hungry, now a sandwich is cheap, like, it's not going to be extremely filling, but it's fun, it's nice, it's fast, it's easy, and I like it. $6, that's not bad. 14 fucking bucks? Okay, now I could get literally anything else and be more satisfied than that.
Like, honestly, the
Because
price difference
since
between
I'm-
these fast
since
food
I'm-
places and, like, Red Robin is basically nothing now.
Right. And to me, because I'm such a boomer, to me, I think of $14 when it comes to restaurant prices. I'm like, well, I remember when I was younger, I could go to IHOP and get steak and eggs, and it was about $14. So that's all I'm thinking is, I'm like, you're charging me steak and eggs money for this meatball sub. That's bullshit. But steak and eggs now is like $25. And all of this hasn't been an incremental slow buildup over the last 20 years. All of this is literally just from the pieces of shit that stole the office 3 years ago. 3.5 years ago. That's all it is. Stolen elections have consequences.
Like, McDonald's recently implemented, like, this $5 value meal thing. Let me see if I can find it here.
Oh, I think I saw it. One of the items on there is a McChicken.
Yeah.
I saw, like, I remember when it was $1.
Well, let's see. They have two versions of the $5 meal deal. One is the McDouble that has one McDouble, small fry, 4 nuggets, and a drink. The other is the exact same, except it swaps out the McDouble for a McChicken. I mean, it's still not, you know, we're still nowhere near where we used to be, but that's going to appeal to some people for sure.
Yeah, man, I was watching this video earlier today. I was talking about Starbucks because Starbucks' stock has been really, really bad over the last year. So they're like, well, what can Starbucks do to fix this? You know, they got to address the problem. What is the problem? Why is Starbucks struggling so much? And I kid you not, one of the things that this video brought up as a possibility is they're like, well, you know, people don't trust Starbucks because the corporation hasn't made an official statement in support of either Israel or Palestine in that conflict. So people think, you know, because they're not taking a side, that they're taking the opposite side of how they feel, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You think it's that and not the fact that they're charging $9 for a coffee? Like, what are we talking about here?
All right, guys. So that'll
Well,
do
it
it.
was-
Yeah, that'll do it for tonight. Thanks for coming out. I'll see you guys later today. Videos going up tomorrow or today. You guys know the drill. See you guys later.
Woo.